The recording. The moment Claire Donovan collapsed onto the marble floor of Courtroom 7, every sound in the building stopped. Not slowed. Stopped. Her body hit the ground like something broken, her wedding ring catching the light one last time before her hand went still. And from across the aisle, dressed in a white wrap dress that cost more than Claire's monthly salary, Melissa Hart smiled. That smile would not last long. 3 years earlier, Claire had been the kind of woman people described as quietly beautiful. She taught second grade in Millbrook, Connecticut. She made her husband's coffee before he woke up. She believed, with the stubborn faith of someone who had never been given a reason not to, that Daniel Donovan loved her. Daniel was a corporate attorney. Sharp jaw, easy charm, the kind of man who filled a room without trying. He had married Claire in a small ceremony by the lake, his voice breaking slightly when he said "I do." She had pressed that memory like a flower between the pages of every hard year that followed. The hard years came quietly. Longer hours. Colder evenings. A husband who stopped asking how her day had been. She told herself it was stress. Work pressure. She told herself many things. It was their neighbor, of all people, old Mrs. Patterson with her kitchen window and her habit of noticing everything, who finally said the words Claire had refused to form. Asterisk, honey, that woman has been inside your house 4 times this week. Asterisk. The woman was Melissa Hart, junior partner at Daniel's firm. And she was not there to discuss case files. The divorce proceedings began in January, in the gray cold of a Connecticut winter. Daniel moved swiftly, with the calculated efficiency of a man who had been planning this for longer than Claire had known. He filed first. He had already spoken to the best attorneys. He had, it turned out, already moved significant assets. Melissa sat behind him in court every single day. She wore expensive shoes and a permanent expression of quiet victory, the kind that doesn't need to announce itself because it is so certain of the outcome. Claire had a modest attorney, a kind man named Gerald who was honest about their limitations. The case was tilting. The evidence was tilting. Claire could feel everything she had built, her home, her stability, her future, sliding slowly out of reach. On the 4th day of proceedings, she stood to present her financial documentation. The room was warm. The air felt thin. She remembers thinking she needed water. She remembers the edges of her vision going white. Then she remembers nothing. When Claire opened her eyes, she was on the floor, and the courtroom was chaos. Gerald was beside her. A paramedic was asking her name. And somewhere above the noise, she heard Judge Helen Carver's voice, not raised, but absolute. Asterisk, clear the room. I need 5 minutes. Everyone out. Mr. Donovan, you stay. Asterisk. What happened in those 5 minutes, no one in the gallery witnessed. But Judge Carver had been watching this case with a practiced eye, and she had noticed something no one else had bothered to look for, a small, almost imperceptible pattern in the financial documents Daniel had submitted. Numbers that didn't trace back cleanly. Transfers made to a shell account 48 hours before the filing date. She had made a private recording of her observations that morning. A judge's note for the record. She played it now, in that empty courtroom, with only Daniel present. Her voice on the recording was calm and precise, listing every discrepancy, every irregularity, every calculated move Daniel had made to arrive at this moment clean. This court does not reward preparation made in bad faith, she said when it ended, still looking at him. Asterisk, you have until tomorrow morning to disclose the complete and accurate financial record. Every account. Every transfer. Or I will refer this matter for criminal investigation. Asterisk. Daniel disclosed everything. The settlement that followed was not what Melissa had been smiling about. The house went to Claire. The accounts were divided honestly. The transfer was reversed. Claire stood on the front steps of the courthouse on the last day, breathing the February air, feeling something she hadn't felt in longer than she could remember. Not happiness, not yet. Something quieter. The particular stillness of a woman who has survived something she didn't choose, and discovered, to her own surprise, that she is still standing. She didn't look back. Some people mistake your silence for weakness. They build their entire plan on that assumption. They forget that silence, sometimes, is simply patience.